and then the reasons for the revival of trade. And so the reasons for the decline of trade are quite simple. First off, with the fall of Roman Empire, remember that? It decreased trade dramatically. People abandoned coastal commercial centers for the interior to avoid barbarians. You had a manorialism, you had feudalism, and a lack of gold currency led to a lack of coinage and economy, and that means people resorted to what's called a barter economy. And what a barter economy is it's one in which people barter. They bargain for various goods and services. They would try to, for example, trade a goat for some chickens, or labor for uh, a good rather than money. Another reason for the decline of trade is the church. The church, as we know, was very, very powerful in medieval Europe, and the church prohibited lending money at interest, which is called usury. They believed it was sinful and that only work could make money, and bankers made money off of money, and that was sinful. And a second point is they discouraged, in general, profit making. They tried to establish the idea of just prices, where you could reward the worker but not overburden the buyer with excessive prices. And the reasons for the revival of trade. Three key points. One, you have an increase in the population. Population grew from 700 on, and this resulted in people leaving the countryside and moving to towns. Two, this is a real big one, the Crusades. The Crusaders were off fighting the enemies of Christendom in Southwest Asia, and this causes stability in Europe because they're not fighting one another and they're not pillaging and plundering and robbing caravans in Europe. They're doing it in the Holy Land. And two, the Crusades cause a renewed interest in trade and exotic goods, spices and carpets and clothing, fabric, everything that the Muslim world had to offer. And three, the stronger kings. The Crusades caused the kings to become stronger, and the kings began to issue more coins. And the kings, with the sense of nationalism, began focusing their attention on domestic or their interior economics. And as a result, this was the beginning of the end for the barter economy. And that concludes the very quick tutorial on trade.